Today I'm talking about The Power of Habit, a great book that's come out a couple of years ago, but it's worth talking about in the context of your small business. So we're doing that today. Let's get to it. Hi, I'm David Chaumette, and if this is the first time you're joining me, please like, comment, or subscribe to this video so that I can continue to bring you great business content tailored to make your business better. This is the second in my series of book reviews. I'm going to talk about the book of The Power of Habit. The book feels like the Malcolm Gladwell books, The Tipping Point, Outliers, and other similar books, in the way that the author weaves storytelling into some real serious learning about habit. One important part of this book is that it outlines the parts of habit, the cue, the routine, and the reward. That's pretty common stuff in the psychology textbooks, but it's presented in a very interesting way, and it's presented through marketing and business examples. Those are incredibly important. There's an entire chapter that talks about the Starbucks training method. There's an entire chapter about the marketing of toothpaste in the early 20th century, how to create a market by understanding habit and how it works, how to create habits in a larger group of people. This is a very valuable discussion. How do you create a habit not only for your customers, but for your employees as well who are doing work, so to make sure that they are working at the highest level possible? Some of the things that I read in this book are concepts that I've discussed in other places, such as the idea of having small wins in order to build on those wins to build better successes. The other thing that I saw in this book is related to the first, and that is creating a journal. There's an interesting discussion of how Starbucks trains its new employees, and specifically how Starbucks takes people who may not otherwise have great habits in their lives and turns them into high-performing employees. What they do is they have you write different things to anticipate when failures will occur. For example, Starbucks anticipates that every once in a while you're going to have an irate customer. By training its employees to have written their response, what they're planning to do when there is an irate customer, it better helps them prepare for that. Because there really are two stages in learning a new habit. The first stage is getting into a new routine where good things are happening. It's a cyclical thing that you can increase and grow upon. What they have learned through the studies that are outlined in this book is that after some period of time, if you run into a difficulty, the system will fall apart. So what do you do when you face that in the workplace? There are some important considerations that come out of that. One, you have to realize that some people, no matter how much you like them, may not be a good fit for your place of employment. And once you realize that they're not a good fit, you really need to encourage a separation as soon as possible. That idea is based upon this concept, that there are habits that people have to show a willingness to learn and an ability to grow into. In the sports world, it's whenever someone is called coachable, that's really what they're referring to. Can you be taught new habits? It shouldn't be a surprise to you that there's a significant portion of this book that deals with the coaching of football players. And speaking of Malcolm Gladwell, reading this book reminded me of the chapter in the Outliers about the 10,000 hours. If you remember, that chapter discusses that in order to become an expert in anything, you need to spend about 10,000 hours doing it. It's the idea that you have to spend a certain amount of time learning something in order to be good at it. What that means in the context of this book is that you need to spend a certain number of hours developing the habits that are necessary to be successful in this particular job in order to master those habits. What does that mean for business owners? One thing it means is that having a written component of their job in order to help employees improve is proven to be a valuable addition. That lines up very well with the procedure creation discussions that we've had before, which I'll put a link to up above. The book also discusses the concept of small wins and basically how things that may not seem related can actually build because they inspire you to create greater habits and achieve greater things. Another YouTuber that I follow, Thomas Frank, I'll put a link to his video on this book up there, discusses how getting up early is a habit that led to other habits. So you, by starting small, with small initial habits, can grow into something significant. The third thing that you can get from this is to understand that the cue, routine, reward paradigm has a fourth component, and that is craving. So the more you can do to create that craving, that runner's high, in the minds of your employees, in your own mind, the more successful you can be at motivating them to achieve their ultimate goals. So in closing, this book, The Power of Habit, is a terrific read. It is very easy to read, very easily digestible. Once again, thank you for joining me for this video. I look forward to seeing you in the next book review. In the meantime, please like, comment, and subscribe down below. David Chaumette from Chaumette Solutions. See you next time.